Hey there guys, what's going on? I'm Shane from Yu-Gi-Oh! Masters and today I'm going to be counting down our top 10 cards from Bosh that is coming out in, God, it's like a week, isn't it? Oh my god, it's a week till the sneaks, I think. I think it's this week, right? Oh my god, it's all coming so quickly. So yeah, we're going to be looking at the top 10 cards, my personal top 10 cards from this set. It's probably the best set since... Oh god, Phantom Darkness? Maybe there was one between, I'm not quite sure. But Phantom Darkness was an insane set. Lord's Tachyon Galaxy wasn't bad either, actually, when I think about it. In terms of how strong the cards were that came out. But yeah, we're looking at an insane set that has so many money cards and so many, not just money cards, but insanely strong cards that just changed the game so much. And we're going to be looking at those. So I guess we're just going to get down to business here and start with our wonderful first one, which is Cosmo Joe. A lot of people probably wouldn't put this in their top 10. I would say the reason on this is the fact that this card is insanely strong and people are writing off Cosmo immediately. A lot of people are right as well. I think Cosmo are definitely going to be the number 2 deck. Maybe not even the number 2 deck. Maybe they're going to be a bit further down. But pendulums are taking over. But, it's a big but here. Cosmo Joe is really insanely strong for what it is. It does something that you want, which is destroying your own Cosmo cards. And then it banishes a card from their field or their graveyard. And because it's field or graveyard, it doesn't target. It can never target like that. So, firstly, this will happen on resolution. So your opponent has to chain first, like Trishula. And secondly, it doesn't target. So those two things make this really, really strong. And Cosmo, I've been playing a lot of the Magicians versus Cosmo, and if Cosmo can get through and hit you hard, they'll kill you. And Cosmo Joe helps with the... Firstly, it helps with OTKs. It really does. OTKs happen a lot more with this card, even though it's a trap. But it also helps on those turns where you need to stand back for a turn and just hope to God your opponent doesn't murder you. Because a lot of the cards that deal with pendulums are destruction cards. You got your MSTs and all that jazz. But those don't really work against stuff like Performer Pal Plushfire, whereas Cosmo Joe does. Plus, this can stop stuff, from the graveyard. It's all good. Your opponent plays Call of the Haunted. It's fantastic. You get rid of it with Cosmo Joe. So yeah, that's my number 10. I actually went through the list of Bosh and I was like, oh my god. I was thinking about doing a top 20, but at that point, where do you put cards? But yeah, there's a lot of cards in the set that I was like, wow, I just can't fit this in. Cosmo Joe possibly isn't the number 10 card. And I know, there you go, I was starting off top 10 going, it's probably not top 10. It could be. It's one of those cards where it's not been tested, largely. It's not a Japanese card, so they haven't had the chance to test it. But I think it'll be quite strong, especially if you've got full Cosmo. You're good. Alright. So we're going to move on to number 9 now. And it is Netabis, the Atlantean Prince. And you know what? It's insane when we look at this and it's number 9. In other sets, this would be number 2 or 3 in terms of how strong this card is. It's so far down on the list because... and it is an insanely strong card. I can't even... If this card was released when Mermails and Atlanteans were a big thing, they would not have even had... There wouldn't have been a number 2 deck. This card is just, oh my god. The reason it's so low, and the reason Cosmo Joe was also so low, even though it's an insanely strong card, is that I'm not 100% that Mermails, even with this card, can deal with the top decks we have now, just because they're so fast and they will kill you so fast. And I know you can make a field with this and you can OTK with this, but is it going to be stronger than Magicians? Is it going to be, is it going to be is it going to be good enough to go against the number 1 deck? And even though this card is insanely strong, and it will make Mermails probably a number 2 deck, a very decent tier 1.5 deck, I'm not 100% sure if it can, you know, stand up to Magicians, Perform Ages, all that jazz. Especially with the cards we're going to be looking at in a minute, because they're going to make them even worse. So, there we go, we got an Emptivist. That is my baby. I'm pretty happy with that. It is pretty good. It's pretty good. Hey guys, I'm not saying it's bad at all. It's in my top 10. It's an extremely strong card. So yeah, we're going to go to number 8, which is Treacherous Rafflesia. This card, other sets would have been much higher as well. And the only reason this isn't higher is not because it's not good, it's because everything else is better. This card can be just jammed in any deck. I think that's something people have not noticed, is this card, if you're just playing Bottomless Trap Hole, you can actually just jam this in your deck, pop it out, and just be like, alright, I've got 1 Bottomless. Because this just takes space in the extra deck. It's 2 level 4 monsters, it's fine. You can just play 1 Bottomless, or maybe even a time space Trap Hole as well. And then you got 2 targets for it. If you didn't get to use it, you didn't get to use it. Maybe if you draw the Bottomless before you play this. This is a great first turn play though. Especially when your opponent doesn't know what's in your deck. You can actually bluff really hard with this card. If you make this first turn, your opponent's like, does he play time space? And I've always said, and it's been a while since a card that you could truly bluff with came out. I remember when Honest came out, back when Light of Destruction was released, and everyone was saying about how it was this, that, the other card. The thing I cared about the most was the fact that it was the first card you could bluff with. You could just summon a light monster, have 1 or 2 cards in hand, and your opponent would be like, do they have Honest in hand? Because you wouldn't be setting any back rows, and they can't deal with it unless they destroy the monster first. So, it's one of those ones where you can bluff, and also still have it. But Rafflesia is the same. You can just make it, and you might not even have a trap in your deck, but they might be playing around it or have to kill it first. So I really love this card, and I've loved it ever since I saw it. And I'm really happy it's coming out, and it's a secret rare in the set. I feel like everyone's going to want one. I think because it's just like 2 level 4 monsters, it's splashable in everything. It'll probably be in a lot of the Magician decks and all that jazz, all the rank 4 spams. So I think this will be quite expensive-ish, but there's 2 secrets per box now. So I would imagine I'm looking at like 25 to 30 pounds. That's $45, I think. But something like that. It won't be on the top end, but it'll be very wanted. Everyone will need one, you know? Everyone need one. So we're going to move on to our next one, which is Performapal Monkey Board. He is a board as monkeys. It's monkey board. There's not really much to say about this card. Basically, it's a 1-card pendulum. You can go and have just like no cards in hand, draw this, and have enough to have 2 scales and a monster on the field. Yeah, because you'd go monkey board, get Crobat Joker, summon the Joker, blah blah blah, put it in, make a pendulum-y thingy. This card is really good. It's a 1. Only if you have, I think it's Perform Age, Perform Pal, or Magicians in the other zone. Or maybe it's just Perform. I'm just going to have a look right now. I'm having a look. It's Performapal. It is only Performapal. Either way, insanely strong card. It's basically a reinforcement of the army for... He's a keyboard, man. He's a monk keyboard. Get it? A monk keyboard. Get it? It's a keyboard, guys. Guys, it's a keyboard with a mon on the front. Performapal mon. Keyboard. Jazzy. Alright, so I'm going to move on from Monkey Board, who is, I think, a common in the set, which is insane, to, and a lot of people thought this is a good card, a great card, and some people say it's a bad card, and I think they're wrong. It's Twin Twister. So, this card I wish was a secret, but it's a super in the new set. Discard a card, select up to 2 Spell Trap cards, and field destroy them. Insane card. Insane card has combos. It can take out both scales. It can take out 2 back cards. It's one of the thought. I mean, if this card's around, why Heavy Storm isn't around, I have no idea. The fact that we've got such amazing Spell Trap destruction now is insane. Twin Twister, I feel, should be 2 or 3 in every side deck at the very least. If this was secret, would have been a lot more. But even a super, and there is a super in every pack, so it won't be insane. But I still think like £5 for a Twin Twister, unless it's just insanely easy to get. But there's not really much to say about this card. It's number 6 on the list, basically just because it's strong. It's strong, simple. And I'd put it higher if there was just better cards. Oh my god. It's insane when I look at Twin Twister and I go, oh god, there are 5 cards in my mind that are better than this. And I might have even missed cards. I bet someone will be like, Shane, you missed out this card. And I'm like, oh yeah, shit. And I almost missed this next card, actually. Segueing into the next card, which is number 5 on our list. Clash of the Draco Rivals. I completely forgot this was in Bosh. I was like, oh man, I thought this was the set after. So yeah, Clash of the Draco Rivals. Oh, what can you say about this card? It's search your deck for Luster Pendulum and put it in the thing. It's not quite that. It's a 50% chance of getting Luster Pendulum into your zone, but if you don't, you get them in the extra deck anyway, and you can do combos from there. A 1 card fills your it fills a pendulum zone, it fills your extra, it's everything you've ever wanted from a card. And it's quick play. Why is it quick play? Don't know, guys. I guess a good thing is, like, if you got 2, you could just set one and then the next turn play that one, which is fantastic. In terms of combos, there's like none. I mean, there's not really too much to talk about on this card. It's insanely strong. I think it's a common in the set. If this was a secret, it would have been insane. Because Luster Pendulum is a super, and that's an insane amount of money at the moment. This that makes Luster Pendulum, but it's insane. So Clash of the Draco Rivals, number 5. So we're getting to the nitty gritty. We're getting to the end of this, guys. We're getting to our top 4, and I wonder if you guys can think in your mind. I probably know what number. I know what the top 4 are, guys. Yeah, it's fine. Alright, so we're going to go. Next one, number 4. It's Ariadne the Absolver. I literally have no idea how to pronounce that. Is it Ariadne? Ariadne? I don't know. Either way, insanely strong card. I love this card. I've always loved counter fairies. And I don't feel this will ever really be played in a counter fairy deck. I think this will just be a splashable card, and I think it's insane. This card combos so insanely well with so many cards. They're all counter traps. Stuff like Solemn Sculling becomes a zero cost Solemn Judgment. God, all the Solemns, they get better. They get much better. And I think in Japan they've got Solemn Judgment as well. They got Solemn Judgment, this guy, no cost. No cost. Divine Wrath, doesn't cost a discard. Oh god, what else? Seal the Forbidden Spell, no cost. You just negate their spell and you can never use it again. The big combo with this card, though, in my eyes, is with the Luster Pendulum. If you play this and Luster Pendulum, blow up Ariadne, you get to search your deck for a counter trap and for another one of this. So, and then you can play it, set the counter trap. It's free. It's free, guys. It's pretty damn insane. That's all I've got to say about this card. A lot of people might be shocked that I've put it so high. A lot of people aren't hyping this. I really am. I think this is a fucking god card. It's so insanely good. And the reason it's not higher is because the next 3 cards are just so dumb. This has to be 4. And that's it, really. It's. Oh, I want to play Counter Fairies, though, with the original stuff from Strike of the Neos, was it? Was it Strike of the Neos? Ston. Yeah, it was Ston, wasn't it? When they released all the Counter... And Force of the Breaker had some as well. But yeah, we're going to move on to number 3. It's Cyber Dragon Infinity! Yay, we're getting to the really good shit now, guys. So yeah, it's pretty insane when Cyber Dragon Infinity is number 3 on a fucking list of cards to come out. Cyber Dragon Infinity, it is a Solemn Judgment. It is a number 101. It is fucking insane. So this guy is like... You can even suck up your own monsters that are just like there. It's like, oh, I've got this guy. It's like if you've got a Castell that's like being used up and you need to fill that space, just suck up your Castell. It's so dumb. It's a Solemn Judgment. It's a big old monster. Seriously, I can't get over how if this card was I don't know what to say. If Ptolemaeus was banned, perhaps this wouldn't be so dumb. But the fact that you can make this from 2 4-star monsters is pretty dumb. It does take up a lot of extra deck space. It takes up a Ptolemaeus. It takes up 1 to put under the Ptolemaeus. It takes Cyber Dragon Nova, and it takes this, so 4. Unless you can make this with 3 level 4s, so you'll make Ptolemaeus immediately go into Nova and then go into Infinity, which I think a lot of people will be doing instead of waiting the turn, because then your Ptolemaeus can die, and then you have to really play Constellar Pleiades. But yeah, this card, it's a 2 level 4s, make this, well, 3 level 4s ish, depending on how you do it. And you got a Solemn Judgment every turn. If they have only 1 out to this, they lose. They need 2 outs to this, or they lose. And that's, they just lose. If they don't, they play the 1 card, and then you've got an out for the next one. They need 2 outs, or they lose. And that's basically it. And there we go. That's I can't believe it's number 3. It's so stupid that this card is secret rare in the set, by the way, guys. Thing is, people aren't going to need 3. That's my thoughts. People are going to need 1. I can't imagine you need 2, unless you just have no extra deck and, you know. I mean, I think Cosmo, they don't use the extra deck too much. I think they could have 2 Infinity, 2 Ptolemaeus, and all the jazz that goes into it, just because they don't need the extra deck too much, and they could just have the Infinities for when they need it. So, I don't think people needing more than 1. It'll be quite expensive, though. It'll still be expensive, but you don't need more than 1. As opposed to number 2 on our list, it's Pendulum Sorcerer. So this is number 2. It's got a 2 scale as well. So this card makes Perform Pals really stupid. There's so much you can do. That the reason this card is higher than Infinity is because Infinity does its job. It's going to sit on the field. If they have only 1 out, they lose. They need 2 outs, etc. This card, though, this card has OTK potential. It has search potential. Even has a really good scale. It's got a 2 scale. There's really not much, like, it's so insane. There's so many combos. You can destroy your plush fire, search some stuff, destroy the counter fairy, search things. The fact that you can destroy things and then search things and then do things, it's so dumb. And it's got 1500 attack. Plus, it's got the OTK potential, because God. Being able to special summon those monsters over and over and then getting 1,000 attack per one is pretty insane. This card, I think people run 3. I can't imagine you wouldn't. It makes the deck more consistent. It's got a really good... Yeah, you'd run 3. And I feel like this is probably... Because Perform Pals is probably going to be the deck that people run. I would imagine that people would get 3 of this, and it will probably be about £50-60 UK money, about $80 US. So that's that. That's number 2. Now, I wonder, guys, what is number 1 on my list? It is Solemn Notice! 2! Who would have thunk it? Woohoo! This card I have been so goddamn hyped for a long time. This card makes Ariadne, I don't know. The Counter Fairy really damn good, because you run 3 of this. That means you've got, let's say you're running 3 of this, maybe a Scalding, but yeah, it makes it so that you've got 3 counter traps at base to have in your deck to do this. And then, hey, you play it and Solemn Notice costs 0. But yeah, when a monster would be special or a monster effect is activated, pay 1,500 life points, and get the summoner activation. So, if this game right now is dominated. Oh man, the sun's coming through. Oh, I'm dying. Is just dominated. Hey, look, guys, look, it's messing up my green screen. Check that shit out. Sun's coming through. Woo. Yep. The game is dominated by monster effects, and this just being able to cut it out at any point you want. Your opponent's going for a big play, just stop the one you want. Amazing. The other big thing, and this is why a lot of people said, oh, this is just basically Black Horn of Heaven mixed with Divine Wrath. Yeah, but it's not as good. It's better than Black Horn because Black Horn can't stop multiple Pendulum summons. Because this is when a monster would be special, so it stops inherent summons. Boom. It stops them all. Whereas Black Horn was only 1. It took... I don't think a lot of people thought that, but I saw it a lot. I saw a lot of people go, Solemn Notice is pretty shit. Black Horns. I'm like, what? Getting a bit angry at them there. But yeah, I mean, I feel like every deck right now is probably going to be running 3 of these. I can't imagine why you wouldn't. If you're not playing Pendulums, you need this to stop Pendulums. If you're playing Pendulums, you need this because it's insane. It's just so dumb. The power in this card is so stupid, and especially since like everyone's playing Upstart Goblins. I wouldn't. Is it really worth playing Upstart Goblins so your opponent can just like not pay themselves down? Because the original problem with Solemn Judgment when it was around, people ran 3, was the fact that if you played all 3, you'd be at 2,000 life points. And then all people need to do is just hit you once, and you're probably dead. So Upstarts, it's like, oh man, am I going to play Upstarts so they get 2 free notices? But that's just a thought. My ending thoughts are insane set. Just like the most insane set since Phantom of Darkness, Lords of the Tachyon Galaxy. Was there any other? Oh, Invasion of Chaos. Invasion of Chaos was fucking dumb. In fact, when I actually think about the amount of power that came in one set, probably is Invasion of Chaos. Invasion of Chaos was like... I mean, God, it even gives Mad Dog of Darkness, which was better than Gemini Elf. Gemini Elf was the number 1, guys. It was pretty good. So, yeah. It's Solemn Notice number 1, and thank you for watching this. It's been pretty cool. Make sure to rate, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz, and I'll see you next time for more top 10s and all that jazz. Bye!